This is the best non-luxury, off-road, on-road, family, two-row, mid-size SUV you can buy in the market. If you don't agree with me, you're wrong. Introducing the fully redesigned 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Why do I say that? That is the best because I've owned two of them. I bought one in 2015 and bought one again in 2018. And here it is, 5th generation, better than ever. And from this angle, you can probably see some of the differences with the back end, a lot more glass there. This is actually about 3.5 inches longer than the outgoing model and 2 inches taller. And with the air suspension, has more than 11 inches of ground clearance. So go anywhere you want to go with the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I bet you will. Not that everyone does, I have, and I think you should give it a shot in the near future. At least give it a test drive because it is definitely worth a look. Today, some of my pros and cons, why I would consider this again as a family vehicle. Probably it might go with the L version, which is 3 rows. This is just being 2 rows. And what makes this Trailhawk so special for 2022. Let's get started. Jeep says this all-new Grand Cherokee is the most technologically advanced 4x4 capable and luxurious Grand Cherokee, yet no argument from me. The 5th generation lineup includes the Grand Cherokee 4xe, the first electrified Grand Cherokee, and the new Trailhawk, which we have here. Jeep says it's the ultimate 4x4 Grand Cherokee. The 2022 trim lineup consists of Laredo, Altitude, Limited, Overland, which I used to own, Trailhawk, Summit, and Summit Reserve. Standard on all models is the all-aluminum 3.6-liter Pentastar V6, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, good for 293 horses, 260 pound-feet of torque. The V6 can tow up to 6,200 pounds. Fuel economy, 19 city, 26 highway, which is average. The 5.7-liter V8 is available on the Overland, Trailhawk, Summit, and Summit Reserve. The V8 gets 14 city, 22 highway. With it, you're riding on 357 horses and 390 pound-feet of torque. Max towing tops out at 7,200 pounds. The V8 also uses an 8-speed automatic transmission. The all-new 4xe powertrain with a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4, 2 electric motors, and 8-speed automatic is available on the Limited, Trailhawk, Overland, Summit, and Summit Reserve. This all-new Grand Cherokee's slim, sculpted exterior delivers more modern and updated premium appearance to the most luxurious Grand Cherokee yet. A lowered, tapered roof improves the vehicle's aerodynamic performance and efficiency without sacrificing cargo spaciousness and utility. With the lower beltline and expansive glass, it allows more light in the cabin and increased outward visibility. I've always been fond of the nose of a Jeep, and with this one, I like how sleek it is with the headlights, 2 tow hooks here, the red ones that stand out. This front camera right here actually has a little sprayer just in case it gets muddy when you're going off-roading, so that's a nice little fun touch to have. And of course, the 7-slot grille. Little history lesson if you don't know. This is their signature. The reason why is because Jeep was the first vehicle ever to be driven on all 7 continents. That's why you have 7 different grille slots there. Little fun fact for you. A wider and larger iconic 7-slot grille and new front fascia conceals a long-range radar and other advanced technology features. An elongated level-set hood and bold head-first stance deliver visual strength, and the aerodynamic body style allows for design flexibility, improved fit, and finish. New active grille shutters, front wheel spats, air curtains, hood aero flick, lowered roof line by 10 millimeters, and rear vertical pillar spoilers improve its on-road performance and fuel efficiency, according to Jeep. This Trailhawk, according to Jeep, is the most capable Grand Cherokee ever. The all-new Trailhawk elevates Grand Cherokee's 4x4 capability even further. The new Trailhawk features standard all-terrain tires, integrated off-road camera, quadra-lift air suspension with up to 11.3 inches of ground clearance, improved approach, departure, and breakover angles, and the Quadra-Drive 2 active transfer case with rear ELSD and select terrain. Other features include class-exclusive sway bar disconnect to allow for improved articulation and traction over rocks and rough terrain, Select speed control for managing vehicle speed in 4 low while traversing over off-road terrain, on steep inclines and declines, or when traversing obstacles. Select speed control automatically applies engine torque and or brake pressure to maintain a consistent and safe off-roading speed without requiring the driver to control the throttle or the brake. There's also high-strength steel skid plates, red tow hooks, 18-inch wheels with all-terrain tires, class-leading traction, ground clearance, maneuverability, articulation, and increased water fording capability of up to 2 feet.
Now, I was reminded on why we traded in the Jeep for an F-150, and that was the car seats in the back seat. And with 2 kids that were just newly born, we had a couple of rear-facing and front-facing car seats. It was really difficult to have a lot of comfortable space behind the driver. In fact, this is my position as a driver right here. I've got an okay amount of space. Again, mid-size SUV, they have the indent in the back of the seat, which is okay for me. Headroom is so-so as well, nothing spectacular, but we do have the massive panoramic sunroof. And this week, having both car seats in here was a reminder again, hey, that's why we upgraded, because it's not that great for a growing family, in my opinion, with the car seats. Once the kids are out of the car seats, yes, it's a little bit better. But for an adult, I think it's just fine to be in the back seat of the Grand Cherokee.
A gloss black roof is available for the first time on the Overland models and comes standard on our Trailhawk, the Summit, and Summit Reserve. A widened track as well, 1.4 inches, provides superior handling and nimble maneuverability according to Jeep. There are 8 wheel options with signature Jeep geometry and up to 21-inch diameter wheels offered for the first time. The Grand Cherokee has an all-new interior. The front panel features new slim HVAC vents, a realigned center stack for greater driver accessibility, and 10.1-inch digital screens, as well as a segment-first available 10.25-inch front passenger interactive display and a new high-definition rear seat entertainment system with Fire TV built in.
So check it out, hands-free liftgate for the Grand Cherokee, always a nice convenience to have. There's also the option here on the key fob. There's also a button just above where the driver sits along the ceiling. So you've got a really nice low load floor, so it makes it easier to bring things into the vehicle, not just groceries, but also larger items. Don't have to lift so high. Looking at 37.7 cubic feet of cargo volume. Folding those down, which is a 60-40 split, which you have to do from the inside of the vehicle. You have no way to do it here on the back, which is a negative. I have to be critical and honest. There's no way to fold these down from the back like a latch or a push button. That would be a nice convenience to have, but you don't. So increasing that to 70.8 cubic feet of volume. Now that sounds like some pretty impressive numbers, 37.7, 70.8, but actually it's below average for this class of midsize SUVs. But that's because most midsize SUVs are larger and have 3 rows. But for me, with just 2 rows, I like the amount of space back here. I did when I had one before, and it still is more than adequate for me when putting things back here. A lot of space. Below the floorboard here, you have a full tire, just in case you have a flat. So that's good right there. And when you're ready to close it up, there's nothing along the ledge here. The button is actually on the left-hand side, on the driver's side. Otherwise, you can hold this down again a couple times. Boom, closes up. So there's the back end of our Grand Cherokee for 2022.
You'll find a generous collection of advanced driver assistance and collision avoidance systems on this 2022, including adaptive cruise control with stop and go compatibility, forward collision warning with pedestrian and cyclist detection, automatic emergency braking, blind spot warning, rear cross traffic warning, lane departure warning, lane keeping assist, and lane centering assistance. As far as your rivals, Toyota 4Runner, Honda Passport, Subaru Outback, the Nissan Murano, Chevy Blazer, Hyundai Santa Fe, and the Ford Bronco.
Well, I would seriously consider buying a Jeep Grand Cherokee again for myself as the kids get bigger. I think a couple of friction points for potential buyers is the higher starting MSRP of around $40,000 compared to its competition, going up to around 60 in the low 60s. The Trailhawk, I think, is incredible. I love what they've done by this Trailhawk trim level on the Grand Cherokee. One of my favorites. Fuel economy was also a big sticking point for us when we had one, but I just want to give you some things to think about, even though I still believe that this is the best off-road, on-road combination for a non-luxury mid-size SUV. Definitely worth a look and absolutely a test drive. I think it is a win, but of course there are a couple things, a couple hurdles you have to get past before you get into one of these. Until next time, I'm Dave Erickson. Thanks for watching. All the details, specs, and minutia on everymandriver.com. Adios. One final note, if you are in the market for a new vehicle soon, great. Connect with your local dealership and price and test drive at least 3 different vehicles. A vehicle's strengths and weaknesses can only be discovered when you are behind the wheel. My reviews can be good, but you need to test drive these yourself. Visit quotes.everymandriver.com, select the make, model, and your zip code, and you'll get invoice pricing in your area on those vehicles. Shop smarter with price quotes at quotes.everymandriver.com.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.